I'll be in Chicago this week. Um, what do I have in front of me? I literally have this book. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. For all my YouTube people out there, there you go. Um, all right, so we're all set. We have kids here in the house, so it might get crazy. When we got home, they were sleeping, so we're good for now. But yeah, I want to talk about your desire, the things that you want to achieve, the things that you want to accomplish, whether you're in crypto, whether you're a friend of mine, an associate of an associate. Um, so, what could I tell you guys that will motivate you to basically do a quantum leap in your job, in your income? And what I could tell you is that when you look back, when you look back at your life, like I look back and my life is not normal at all. Um, but because I've been studying this information for so long, it literally changed the way that I think. This changes the way you think. And it's not going to be easy in the beginning, but you just have to motivate. You have to stay motivated and you have to believe that you can become this thing, whatever it is that you want, because like the things that I want are different from the things that you want. But what I could tell you is um, that it's been a wild ride, being broke, being hungry, literally traveling to United Kingdom, not knowing before this whole pandemic. Well, this is actually when the pandemic kicked off, and I was just like trying to figure out where I was gonna land. But I'm glad that I had wrote down my goals. But even before this whole pandemic had kicked off, I started reading books like this, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I had first went to Europe. I had first went to Milan in Switzerland. When I got back to California, I knew that I wanted to live in Europe, but I didn't have a home in Europe. I had no connections in Europe. And now I have a home in Europe and I have connections in Europe and connections in United Kingdom. So when you want these things, when you want to grow, and when you want to, have money, and when you want to travel and you want freedom, there is a price. The price is because there's never something for nothing. You have to be willing to give something to get something. That's why, like earlier today, I was listening to Bob Proctor, because even though he passed away, he comes out on my feed all the time because, I worked in his company and stuff. And it said that nature abhors a vacuum. Basically, you have to create space for the good that you desire. When you walk into someone's house and, they have a bunch of junk, and the closet is full, you have no room in the house. You're basically hoarding stuff, right? And I'm not going to say any names, but I know people that are like that. And I've had the tendency to also hoard onto things, right? But you have to let go of those things. You have to create space for the good that you desire. You have to let go of people that are not helping you. You have to let go of maybe your job. You have to let go of your clothes or your parents' clothes. Maybe you have to sell a house. So you have to do these things to get to the next level. And you have to create space. So, you know, I basically walked out of my company in 2018, 2019, and business wasn't looking right. Everything that happens to you in the outside world, sometimes it affects the way you think. And, my business wasn't doing good, and I said, hey, I want to be successful in cryptocurrency. I don't have a shirt, but usually I have a shirt that has my logo and stuff, right? And that was my desire. And then I just basically started focusing on the things that I want. I started focusing on Crypto Life School. I started focusing on writing down my goal with a pen, and I put a date on it and I signed it. What was I willing to give? I was willing to give up my time studying, learning, doing research in cryptocurrency. And I was looking for the next Bitcoin, and then we found it. We actually have people in our YouTube channel, Crypto Life School. And if you want to go to YouTube, go to Crypto Life School. You can find us. But we have people from Crypto Life School that have made millions of dollars in Hex Crypto. If you don't know what Hex is, you can go to www.hex.com. Hex.com, Hex Crypto. We're getting ready to launch Pulse Chain and Pulse X. Basically, Pulse Chain is a copy of Ethereum, and it's the gas fees are going to be like very, very cheap. So if you heard of Binance, think of it as the same type of thing, but better technology. And you know, these last 2 years have I've done so much during the coronavirus that I've done more stuff in 2 years than people do in their whole lives. I haven't been in the United States. I haven't seen my family. Uh, luckily my parents, they have a house in Texas and they have a house in Chicago, so I'm still able to come here to Texas, go to Chicago, and I'm able to get into the country through going through Mexico, because like when you come into the United States, they want you to have all these coronavirus. Did you get this? Did you get this shot? Did you get this shot? So I'm able to avoid all that stuff by going through Mexico, because my mom has a house in Mexico. So I come in through Mexico, and then I come in through car. I shouldn't be saying this. I might get banned, right? But you guys want to see The Godfather? Check it out. You guys seen The Godfather? Don Corleone. Nice, right? So this is my room at my mom's house, and we have family here. Where I literally bought a tripod, and I got a bunch of cameras. I went to the cell phone store today. I picked up another camera. I got this camera, this one. So I got 4 cameras, guys. 4, because you have so many platforms that you got platforms. You got Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You got all these things. But it's all good in the hood, man. It's all good. Got my Superman Blu-rays right here. I ordered on Amazon. Check that out. I got the. You guys like scary movies? Halloween Kills, Superman, the old school one. Blu-rays. I love Blu-rays. But yeah, the thing is that I always carry this book, just like Bob Proctor. I always carry Think and Grow Rich, because there's a secret in this book. And if you do exactly what the book is telling you, if you follow the steps, you're going to figure it out. You have to be a product of the product. My goal was to get rich because I had a poverty conscience, and I knew that people wouldn't believe me if I was broke, right? So people want to see the Ferrari. People want to see the Rolex. They want to see the Rolex. They want to see the Ferrari, right? They want to see the bling bling, and then they'll follow you. But I'm not that type of person that likes to be flashy. I'm a very modest man, very humble. I'm gonna tell you what I went through, and it's your choice whether to believe me or not. But I will tell you this, that the subconscious mind, it doesn't know the difference between a penny and $1,000,000. It doesn't know the difference between when you're sleeping and when you're awake. It takes in information and it produces the facts. Whatever you're thinking about is what your reality is. Whether you like to believe me or not, whatever you're thinking about is what you attract. William James was a psychologist in Harvard University, and he says that you have about 60,000 thoughts, okay? 60,000 thoughts and per day. And out of those 60,000 thoughts, you need to figure out which ones are those thoughts that you want to manifest in reality, right? 60,000 thoughts a day. Now, out of those 60,000 thoughts, 90% of them are you're thinking about all the things that you don't want. You're thinking about, how am I going to pay my house? How am I going to take the kids to school? How am I going to pay my cell phone? My job doesn't help me. It doesn't give me enough money to pay my bills. Um, and you have to think about those things. I need to do some videos in Spanish because I had a lot of people in Spain and in Mexico and family that they want to hear this information in Spanish. So I'll be talking in Spanish soon. Um, and and what I could tell you is that you have to know what you want. That's what the first chapter is in Think and Grow Rich is desire. You have to have a desire for what you want. And in this book, desire is actually chapter 2, but because it has an introduction, so the introduction is basically chapter 1. But if you get the original copy, chapter 1 is desire. Okay, so chapter 1 is desire. What do you want? What do you want? That's the name of the game here. What do you want? How much do you want to make? When people talk about being a millionaire, they have no clue. They have no clue how much they want to make per month. They could tell you they want to be a millionaire, but they don't understand. They think it's just like, oh, well, once I'm rich, my problems are going to go away. Money makes you more who you are. If you're a good person, you're going to be more of a good person. If you're a bad person, you're going to be a hell of a bad person. But it makes you more who you are. But you have to be precise. You have to know how much money you want to make to live the life that you want to live. How much you want to make? You want to make 20,000 a month? You want to make 50,000 a month? You have to have an idea of what you want to make per month. Don't think of how your goal is going to manifest into physical reality. Don't think of how it's going to happen. Just think about that it already happened. Don't don't think of how, just think that it happened already. The past, the present, and the future, it's already here, but it's in your mind. It's in the fantasy world. So you have to entertain the fantasy. You have to live the lie. You have to tell yourself, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy. Your car's breaking down. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy. There's ways to get rich. One of the ways that I got rich was through cryptocurrency. The fastest way, logically, the fastest way is through cryptocurrency. Because if you find the right cryptocurrency, you won't ever have to work a day in your life. But what I noticed is people get scared. It's like a video game. You have the gun, but you can't pull the trigger because you're too scared. When you have the gun and you have that power to make a decision, you have to pull the trigger. I'm talking about on your goals, okay? I'm not talking about pulling the trigger in real life because people could get hurt. I'm talking about your goals. I'm talking about the things that you want to accomplish. Start at the end. When we talk about people, when they want to manifest their dreams, we go to the end. What does the end look like in your movie? What does the end look like in your life? How much you want to make? Why? Why do you want it so bad? Um, you have to know what, why, when, where, but you don't have to know how your goal is going to manifest. But yeah, if you're looking for a realistic approach, cryptocurrency is a realistic approach on how you could take $1 and turn it into $100,000. Okay. Now we talked about Bitcoin. It did over 1,000,000% return. I think it was over 1,000,000% return if you would have bought it back in 2010 for under $1. You would have been worth over 100 million easily right now, depending on how much you would have put. But Hex, if you would have put $100 for every $100 that you would have put in Hex at the all-time high when Hex hit 57 cents, you would have made 100,000 for every $100. That is a huge return on your money. Okay, we have people in Crypto Life School that did that with 10, 20,000, and they bought properties. They're traveling the world. That is a realistic approach. But Napoleon Hill didn't know anything about cryptocurrency. Napoleon Hill, he interviewed the richest person in the world, which was Andrew Carnegie. And Andrew Carnegie told Napoleon Hill that you have to believe in yourself. He told him, look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're going to surpass me in life. And Napoleon Hill was like, well, you're the richest person in the world, Andrew Carnegie. How do you expect me to be more successful than you if you're one of the richest person and you're in the manufacturing and steel business? And he basically told him that there's a secret. He told Napoleon Hill, there's a secret, and that the 1%, the people that are the wealthiest, they know about the secret. So he's like, well, how does the secret work? I want to know more information. And you can find that conversation between Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill in a book. It's called How to Raise Your Own Salary by Napoleon Hill. Now, the conversations are all in there where he's telling him that you have to know what you want. You have to write it down. You have to put how much you want to make. You have to sign it. And you have to auto-suggest it. See, the subconscious mind is basically, it's already set in its own ways. It's used to doing things automatically. It's like autopilot. Like when you fly a plane, you're in a plane and the plane knows where it's going. That's how the subconscious mind works. Your conscious mind tells your subconscious mind, I want to be wealthy. I want to travel. I want these things. But your subconscious mind doesn't accept it. Your subconscious mind says, no, you can't do it. You're not supposed to. And you have to break that program in your subconscious mind. How do you break the program? By writing down what you want and auto-suggesting it to yourself. When you auto-suggest it to yourself, that's when you start attracting it. It might take some time. It might take like 6 months or 2 or 3 years. In my case, it took me to first start a successful business. It took me like 4 years. And after that, I thought I was going downhill, and then all of a sudden I started another company, and then in 2 years I did more than what I had did in the 4 years, and what I had did in my whole life, and what all my family had did. I made more money in 2 years than I would have to work 4,000 years to make the money that I made, making 50,000 a year. So making 50,000 a year, let me do the math on that. I'll do the math on this other phone because I'm not using this other one. So I would have to work at 50,000 a year for 4,000 years. It would be $200 million. Okay. So I would have to work, let's say at 45,000 a year times 4,000 years. So I would have to work 3,200. So the most I've ever made was 120 million. Okay. So that's 3,000, 2,800. Okay. So let's say I'm making 45,000 a year. I would have to work 2,800 years. I got the math wrong on that. So the most I've ever made was like 75,000 a year when I used to sell phones at Circuit City back in 2001. So 75,000 years, the most I've ever made. Divide that by 120 million. Or 120 million divided by 75,000 a year. But that I only made that amount of money for 2 years, and then after that I was gone. And then I worked for banks. I only made like 35,000 a year. So, yeah, you would have to work a long freaking time to make that type of money, to make 120 million. And I made that in 2 years. Now my accounts dropped because Bitcoin dropped from 67,000 to it's at about 19, 20,000 right now. I think it was 21,000 earlier today. Hex dropped from 57 cents to 4 cents. But right now is the time to buy. For people that are listening in on Crypto Life School on YouTube, right now is the time to buy because it's 4 cents. 4 cents. It was at 57 cents not even a year ago. So yes, you can get rich logically, but We're talking about fantasy. We're talking about writing down what you want. Don't worry about how you're going to attract these things. Just know what you want. Have a burning desire. Don't let people hold you back. And you have to wait it out. If there's a message that I want to get across to everybody is wait. Don't quit. Don't fucking quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Because everything on the outside world is going to get you to quit. Everything in the outside world, trust me, I was living in California. I had my bedroom here. This was my apartment, and I was paying like 2,000 a month, and I only had $30,000. So how did I make 120 million with $30,000? How did I do that? How did I do a quantum leap? Well, I sat down. I got tired of listening to people because I already know this information. And I've manifested this twice in my life with my company, and then I manifested it in cryptocurrency. I read the book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. And in that book, Wallace Wattles says you can't let the outside appearances dictate the way you think. Because if you do, you're going to get more of the same. So I was looking at the outside world. I was looking at, oh, I only have 30,000. I live in California. It's very expensive. What am I going to do with my life? And I was looking for the next crypto. I was looking for the next Bitcoin. I was looking for, you know, for something that would take my income over the top. And like I said, I wrote it down. I wrote this stuff down. I wrote it down. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm doing great in my company, Crypto Life School. I'm successful, making millions of dollars, right? I wrote it down and I put it in a folder. And when I was living at my house in Spain, I had a friend come over and I opened up the folder and it says, I'm going to make $50 million in cryptocurrency with a coin called Electra. Now that coin disappeared. Electra disappeared. But like I said, you throw it out there to the world, to the universe, and it throws it back. Your thoughts come back to you. So I said I wanted to make 50 million in cryptocurrency. Well, I didn't make 50 million. I made 120 million. 2 years later, I was sitting in a Starbucks in Austria, in Vienna, going through my, through this, and I manifested it. What happened? What happened is that there's a season to sow, there's a season to reap, but you don't do both in the same season. You don't just expect something in the next day and say, oh, I'm going to have it tomorrow. No, it's like going to the gym. You have to keep working at it. You have to keep working out. You have to keep lifting weights. You have to keep curling. And then, you see the results after years later. And it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to travel the world. It doesn't. I was in Paris. Got this. Look, check this out for the fridge. Paris. 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 I was in Dubai. Look, Dubai. For my crypto people. They love going to Dubai. Tax free. Dubai. And usually when I travel somewhere, I always buy stuff for the fridge to remind me. So wherever, if I'm in Chicago or if I'm in Texas, I always put something in the fridge, and I'm like, oh look, I was in Italy, I was in Switzerland, I was in London, I was in Milan, I was in Spain. Oh, I have a house in Spain, you know, um, and it's all good. I'm not complaining. I'm very happy. Yes, there's people that might hold you back, but that's temporary. You're not going to let these people destroy you and change the way you think because you know the truth. And the truth is a perception. Perception is what controls our reality, our perception of what we believe the truth is. But it's just energy. And the energy is all around you. You can't see it. It's like the air. You can't see the air. Has anyone said, hey, where's the air today? Well, I don't know where the air is. It's in the space, right? I don't know where the internet is. It's in the space. I don't know where cryptocurrency is. It's in the space. I don't know, I don't know where Facebook is. You know, it's in the space, but I know it's on my phone, right? But if you would have told someone 100 years ago, hey, let me see your phone, well, what the hell's a phone? Yeah, I'm gonna make a wireless phone call, no phone. Let me just call someone, right? They would have said you're crazy, you know. So technology has changed, uh, our reality has changed, but you have not changed because you have not accepted the fact that personal growth and development exists. You think that going to work is going to save you. You think that having a job is going to help you to retirement. And you can work for 30 years of your life, or you could create a company and work 2 years and never have to work a day in your life. But it's up to you. You may not need to open up a company. You might have an idea. Everyone in us has a Mona Lisa. Everyone is special in some way. But we let life, this is what people that I've read say this. We've let life fuck us up, right? We let the past destroy the future. We let the past, the situations that happened in the past dictate our future. Personal growth and development is not about the past. It's about learning from the past. It's about shaping, molding, making the future the way you want to make it. It takes time. Yes, it does. The law of attraction, does it work? Yes, it does. But it doesn't happen in 1 week. It doesn't happen in 1 year. It doesn't might not happen in 2 or 3 or 5 or 7 or 10. In Bob Proctor's case, Bob Proctor passed away. He wanted to start a company that operates all around the world. He started Proctor Gallagher with Sandy Gallagher. But it took him more than 20 years. I think it took him more than 30 because he met Sandy Gallagher when he was, later on in life. So for everyone, it happens different. For me, it happened in 2 years. It happened twice. It happened in 4 years, in 2016 when I started my company, and then it happened in 2021 with Crypto Life School. So it happened to me twice where I want to make $1.75 million, and I attracted it because I went through my bank statements at the company, the Loan Modification Clinic. You guys can Google that. 2536 South California, 773-847-2200. That's our phone number, and the number still works. The Loan Modification Clinic. I made 2 million, 1.75 million, and it happened to the date. And then I thought I was like, that's it. Like I need to start something else. I want to do something else. And then I opened up Crypto Life School. It was actually called Crypto Lifestyle Club. So we started that in 2017, 2018, at the end of 2017, with my friend Jerry Cardenas from Chicago. So we were doing YouTube videos, and you guys can go back on YouTube. You can see all the videos from the past. We had one video, it had like 50,000 views. And I was looking for the next Bitcoin. And I had my company. I lost over 100,000 looking for the next Bitcoin. But what's most important is that I stopped trying myself, because you can't do this by yourself. You're going to need guidance. That's why I tell you what books to read, what books to order on Amazon. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. Thomas Troward, The Hidden Power. Genevieve Behrend, Your Invisible Power. You can find them on YouTube as well, audios. And energy just is. Energy just is. The first universal law that Wallace Wattles talks about in The Science of Getting Rich is energy just is. Science and theology, they disagree on a lot of things, but they come to an unanimous decision on one thing, that nothing is created, nothing's destroyed. So that means that everything you want is already here. Okay? That's one of the secrets. Everything you want is already here. Everything you want is already here. But it's in a certain frequency. It's in a certain dimension. You can't go into that dimension or that frequency because your subconscious mind and your conscious mind Subconscious, subconscious. There's a connection that's not being made. That's what Bob Proctor said. For my close friends that want to get the video, let me know. I'll send you the video because I have the video. It's a YouTube video. So there's a connection that's not being made between the conscious and the subconscious mind. That's why you can't attract the things that you want. How do you make the connection between conscious, what you perceive, what reality is, and subconscious, where all realities exist, where your emotions lie, where anything is possible through repetition? The subconscious mind takes over. You get it to give you what you want because of the repetition. You have to know what you want, why you want it, when you want it by. You have to put a date. When you write down on your goal card, I'm so happy and grateful now that you put what you want. By this date, I have this, and you sign it. And then you just auto-suggest it. You auto-suggest it. You auto-suggest it. I'm so happy and grateful now that you put it in. You put it in, and then you put the amount that you want to make. If you've only made, let's say, 57,000, then you put 570,000. You add a couple more zeros, and you look at those numbers daily. Every time at night before you go to sleep, you look at those numbers. Then what starts to happen? You get a bigger house now. You get another car. You open up a savings account. You go travel. You go to Hawaii. You go to wherever you want to go. You just make a trip. You start, I guess, expanding your mind. You start having more in your life. And then you look back and you're like, whoa, this stuff works. This stuff works. No one knew what gravity was. Isaac Newton was pretty much the father of calculus, mathematics. But he figured out what gravity was because he was sitting underneath the tree. We all know that when we go to school, they teach us what gravity is, right? Gravity basically puts things in its place. Otherwise, we'd be floating right now, right? So when you start writing down your goal, right? When you start writing down what you want, you're automatically using gravity for yourself. You're automatically using gravity for someone says we have no sound. Give me a thumbs up if we have a sound, just in case. So when you write down with what your goal, right? You're automatically bringing that stuff into your life through gravity. You're using what we already have for you, not against you, to get you to the next level. So let me know if we have sound, just in case, because someone on Facebook said we don't have sound. Think about it. You have the sun, you have Mars, you have Earth, right? And what's crazy was, I was telling one of my friends, he called me from California, and he was talking to me, and because he knows that if he would have listened to me, he would have made so much money, millions of dollars. And we've made millions of dollars with Shiba Inu. We were top 50 in Shiba Inu, okay? So me and like 5 people were top 50 in Shiba Inu. So we made millions of dollars with that as well, okay? And we've made millions of dollars with Hex. Now, he called me because he didn't listen to me when I was in California. And he said, how does the law of attraction work? So I want to talk to you for an hour. I want you to help me. How does the law of attraction work? And I started talking to him about all this stuff, right? And he's like, man, I had no idea what you were doing in California at your apartment, but I realized that I made a mistake. I should have listened to you, right? And what happens is that when you get older in life, it's hard for someone to coach you. You know, it's like me, I can mentor you, but let's say you're 65, 70 years old, it's going to be hard for me to mentor you because you're already used to doing things your way. So the point is that it's never too late, and you're never that smart. It's never too late, and you're never that smart because anyone could do this. Anyone could do this. And there's only like when people start studying this is because something happened to them. There's only two there's a few ways to change a paradigm. One is an emotional impact, like a loss of a loved one, someone passed away, something that has totally changed you, and constant space repetition, basically repeating this stuff, studying this stuff day in and day out, day in and day out. There's only two ways to change a paradigm: emotional impact, constant space repetition. So, me was an emotional impact and studying this stuff because I almost died in 2010. I was drunk driving, and my life was just completely ruined. I had nothing, and I had a degree to work for a bank. Like, basically, I went to college because I thought that that's the paradigm. My sister went to college, so I went to college. So the paradigm is you do everything that is in front of you. So if your family is doing something, you're gonna do the same thing. So whatever is in front of you, you're gonna do the same thing. Um, Environment is more important than heredity. Bob Proctor would say that all the time. Environment. Who are your best five friends? Like, who are these people you're hanging around with? Are they broke or are they successful? That makes up your life, who you are, right? So, your environment. Who are you hanging out with, right? And when you're at this level, let's say you made $10 million. Even at 10 million, you don't really have too many friends. It's like my friend Ruben called me when he invested in Tesla and he found out about Hex, the opportunity, and he found out the amount of money that was involved and stuff. And he's like, man, it's lonely at the top. It gets lonely at the top because the ideas, the things that you've done, there isn't anyone around you that has done them because you might have a friend or someone else that knows about it, but no one jumped into it the way you did, right? I had a house. I had five homes, four or five homes. I had one by 26th Street, one in Hyde Park. I had my house in Garfield Ridge. That's three. I had the building on 25th in California, and that was a 3 unit. And I had one on Justine and 48th. It was a 2 unit. It was a rental. So I had five properties, right? And I remember the one in Little Village, I had sold it for $65,000. And my brother was starting a company. He was involved with me at the loan modification clinic. So I gave him 10 grand up front to start to work with me because we decided to join forces at the time. This was in 2017, 2018. Um, so I had four properties left. Then from there, I ended up selling the one in Hyde Park and I rented out my house and I went to California, to the state. I was living in Hollywood, California. So I was losing homes. Like my goal was to have 100 homes, right? Paid off. And then if I could get 1,000 in rental income, I would have 100,000 a month in rental income. 100,000 a month is good money to just right live life. So I was at five, and then I started selling stuff because I was looking for the next Bitcoin. I was looking for the next cryptocurrency, and this is for all the people that are listening in Crypto Life School at on YouTube. So I was talking to my friend Ryan, and he's like, "Hey, do you know like?" I told him I want help to open up my MetaMask wallet. I need help to open up my MetaMask wallet. And he's like, "Well, I'll help you out." So I opened up my MetaMask wallet, and I had like 5 Bitcoins, and it was basically all my life savings. I just threw it all in Bitcoin because everyone was saying Bitcoin was gonna go to 100,000 or 1 million. So I had Bitcoin, right? And then I got rid of that Bitcoin, and then I bought Hex. I started dollar cost averaging into Hex when the T-shirt was at 60 cents. So the T-shirt went in Hex. It's all about the T-shirts in Hex. So when the T-shirt went from 60 cents, it went from 60 cents all the way to $9,500. Okay, so imagine you invested 60 cents goes to 9,500 when Hex was at 57 cents last year. So what happened? What happened was that I believed in myself. and I didn't let anyone convince me or give me their reality. I was going to create my own reality, and I was going to get the help from Napoleon Hill, from Wallace Wattles, and from Bob Proctor, my mentor. And it's true. It's like William James, a psychologist, would say that your your perception, it controls your reality. When you change your perception on life, life will change. So I just changed my perception. I was like, well, if it's just energy, if it's just a goal, if I write it down, I put a date, it happened to me before. I made 1.75 million with the law of attraction using this material. Then what's the difference between 1.75 and 50 million, right? So I just said, hey, I'm going to make 50 million in cryptocurrency. Now the 50 million wasn't there. It was just a plan, a desire, something that I wanted. So, you know, do all realities exist? The reality that you want to choose exists. And if it doesn't exist, you have to make it exist. Now, you can't force something to come into your life, but you can hit play. You can start like gravity, just start pulling it in. You start pulling it in, and then you just keep, like a car, you keep buffering it, you keep cleaning it, you keep cleaning it, and situations happen. I'm going broke, you keep cleaning it. Oh man, this shit doesn't look right, you keep cleaning it. Oh, Bitcoin's crashing, you keep cleaning it. I remember it went to 20,000, then it went to 3,700, and then I started buying at 3,700. Hex didn't even exist. I thought that I was going to get rich with a different one called Electra. Then that one died. And then Hex was basically, yeah, I saw a YouTube video, saw Richard Hart, started listening, I'm like, man, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. He's in Bitcoin a long time, back in 2010, when Bitcoin was like under 50 cents, right? So people come to you when you write it down. When you write down what you want, it starts attracting people that have something to do with your goal. It starts attracting the places, the people, the events, the situations. It starts pulling them in. The same thing happened at the loan modification clinic. I wrote down that I wanted to make 1.75. This was like 2014, 2015. And I attracted someone from the radio that helped my clientele. That basically, I went from 5 clients a month to 35 clients a month. But how did that happen? Just like Andrew Carnegie told Napoleon Hill. Now, when Andrew Carnegie died, they went through his desk and they found gold cards. And basically, they found two gold cards. One that he was going to make millions of dollars the first half of his life, and the other one that he was going to give it all away towards the end of his life. And he was a philanthropist. He gave all of his money away towards the later end of his life. But he totally changed the way Napoleon Hill thought about money and what his philosophy on life was, because if it wasn't for Andrew Carnegie, Napoleon Hill wouldn't have wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. It wasn't Think and Grow Rich that made him famous. Well, it was Think and Grow Rich that made him famous, but he already had wrote another book called The Laws of Success by Napoleon Hill. But that didn't make him famous. It was this book, Think and Grow Rich, that made Napoleon Hill famous. And he has made more millionaires through personal growth and development than Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie made like 10 millionaires. Charles Schwab, Schwab Investments, that was one of his employees. He basically trained him. He made him a millionaire, maybe made about 9 more millionaires, but that was about it, right? Napoleon Hill has made millions and millions and millions of millionaires because all the successful people, from Robert Kiyosaki to Tony Robbins, everybody has read Think and Grow Rich. So if you don't know who Napoleon Hill is, you have to start studying him, because these are the videos that I would watch when I was working for $300 a week. When in 2011, when I was trying to better my life because of my driving drunk incident, I would always listen to Think and Grow Rich on YouTube. I would listen to The Laws of Success by Napoleon Hill on YouTube. And I would listen to it every single day, because the old man, Napoleon Hill, the guy that I was seeing on YouTube, the old man with the tie, was like, hi, may you be seated, please. There's a secret. It's called the master key. When you figure out in these lessons the secret, the master key, you're going to have anything you want. And he said the biggest failure of mankind is the failure to take possession of their own mind. Because if you took possession of your own mind, you can have anything you want and you can have it in abundance. So when he said that, it resonated with me. It was like, whoa, like I can have anything I want and I can have it in abundance. And I was like, abundance? Like, whoa, I've never heard of these things. I thought that I had to be a regional vice president at the bank to have an abundance. I thought that I needed a degree, which I ended up getting in finance and investment management. My goal was to go to New York and work for Goldman Sachs. That shit didn't happen, right? And I had a quality to attract quantities. I had a quality to make money. What was that quality? I worked in the mortgage industry and I knew how to work on files, basically how to underwrite loans. And it's all based on debt and income and your credit. Now, we had went through a recession in 2008, so I started modifying people's homes to lower their mortgage. The President Obama at the time, he had gave out a stimulus and, gave out this money. So basically, I was doing debt to income ratios to help people save their home. Okay. And I helped my mom. I helped out friends. I helped out clients, cancer patients. So when Napoleon Hill was talking, he's like, use something that you have to make money, to do something that you like to do. And then I'm like, well, I like doing this. Like, I like modifying people's homes. I want to be like a savior, right? I want to save the day. Like, hey, I just lowered your mortgage payment by $700 a month. How do you feel? I feel freaking great. Oh my God, you saved me. My interest rate went from 7% to 2%. You saved my life. Oh my God. So we did that at the loan modification clinic. And then, and we still have the business open. There isn't too many calls because it doesn't look like we're in a recession yet. They already announced some type of recession, but it's still not as big as the one from 2008. Like the one from 2008, people were losing their homes. And you have a skill. And I'm giving you my life, my situation. So to inspire you to get going, to get off your ass, to figure out what the frick you want to do, right? And like I said, the most I've ever made was 75,000 at Circuit City when I was 19. But that was only 2 or 3 years. The most I've ever made was, let's say, 35, 45,000 working for banks. But to write down something and to never have to work a day in my life, because I did the numbers, okay? And these are some big numbers. Why? Because in cryptocurrency, you have 8 zeros. That's the one Satoshi is 7 zeros and a 1, okay? One Bitcoin is 100 million Satoshis. For you guys that don't know, one Bitcoin has 100 million Satoshis. So it's 100 million, I guess you could say 1 plus 7 zeros, okay? It's 100 million, all right? So 2 commas, all those zeros. But it has units, so you're not buying one. You can buy little fractions of Bitcoin, okay? Same thing with Hex. When you buy one Hex, you're buying fractions. Right now, Hex is at 4 cents. Shiba Inu has like 4 or 5 zeros in front of it and a 1. So you're buying a bunch of coins for a couple $100, okay? You sit on that and wait for it to go up by 10,000%, like I did. Now, the beautiful thing about Hex is that you can stake it, and it earns 38% interest per year, annual percent. So it earns interest. You're making money on your money, and if it goes up, you're making even more money. And I bought Hex within the first month when it came out. People weren't around back then. And the people that were around were like, man, I'm not going to put $20,000 into this thing. I'm not going to put $30,000 into this thing. But you start at the end. See, I was already saying I'm a multimillionaire. I was already saying I'm a billionaire. I was already saying that I'm traveling the world. I was already saying that I'm retired and basically, I do what I love. I don't have to work for anyone. I was already saying these things because I was listening to my mentor, Bob Proctor. And he's like, no, look, listen, guys. And he would talk to us like, listen, guys, you need to make a big number look small. That's why I always carry a calculator. And he would write down, like, he's like, okay, $100 million. Okay, so how many socks do you need to sell to make $100 million? And I was just like, this guy's right. Like, I'm gonna look at 100 million. I'm gonna look like I already had made 1.75 when I worked with him in 2017. I was already a millionaire. I was 33 years old, and I was running a company. I had 10, 15 people working for me at one time or another, right? So from to go to that to go to 50 million, 100 million, that I would have to do 20,000. I would have to have about 15 to 25,000 clients at the loan modification clinic. And I was already working on doing a call center where we were helping people out throughout the whole United States. But since Donald Trump was in office, the economy sounded like it was doing good and never crashed. I was waiting for another crash, but the crash never arrived. So what did I do? Got into cryptocurrency, started a school. It was a club, started a school to educate people that this is the transfer of wealth. This is the biggest transfer of wealth. It's going to take time, but it's already in motion, like gravity. It's already working its way there. So I don't know because this is a paradigm. No one knows how it's going to happen, how the government is going to transition to a decentralized economy. We don't know. Um, but I'm diversifying. I buy property, and rental income. Have have some ideas that you know that I'm working on right now. A business that I might want to start, right? But it's all good, right? I could spend 30, 50,000 a month and not worry. And you know, you can't doubt what Napoleon Hill was talking about or what he was taught through the richest person in the world. You can't doubt like Bob Proctor that has sold so many books. You Were Born Rich, Thoughts Become Things, and the consultants, his company, like over 5,000 consultants worldwide. I'm one of them. So we have a program to help people get to the next level. Now these are some of the things that happen to me, right? But I'm grateful. That's where you need to start, is being grateful for the little things that you have, and then saying, hey, look, I'm grateful for these things that I have, but I'm gonna go to the next level. I'm not gonna let anything stop me now. And that's what I did when I took off from Chicago. Never went back ever since. This is actually the first time I go back to Chicago, like in a couple of years. But it's crazy because like I went to California, and people tell me like, dude, you could write a book about cryptocurrency. Like I could literally write a book about cryptocurrency because I don't know anyone that was successful in Hex, and I don't know anyone that made millions of dollars in Shiba Inu the way I did. And it wasn't just me. My sister, my friends, we all made millions of dollars because of the energy that Bob Proctor has basically helped us to change the way that we think. Thinking is the hardest function that anyone could have. Thinking requires effort, and it's easier to lift this magnet that you put on a fridge than to think. Thinking is the highest form of intelligence. It permeates all time and space, and basically your thought is like a laser beam. It could cut through a house, it could cut through butter, it could cut through a brick wall. A thought could go in through a brick wall. Why? Because you are a sending and receiving station. You're like a radio. And whatever you send out will come back to you. Whatever you're sending out there. That's why, you hear about people saying, "Oh, good vibes," I'm sending out good vibes, because those good vibes exist, and you can't let the negative win, because that's a polarity. You got negative, positive, good, bad, right? So you have a polarity, and you need to control the polarity and reject the negative, take in the positive. Oh, the things aren't looking right. You just take in the positive, and then everything will be a fantastic dream. Uh, Genevieve Beran, she wrote a book called Your Invisible Power. And I'm going to quote her because in that book, it's just a lot of deep stuff what she wrote, and you can find it the audio through YouTube. Your Invisible Power. So in the book, she says that when you bring these unseen causes into harmony with your conception, you can make practical working realities of possibilities that at present seem but fantastic dreams. So when you bring these unseen causes, what are unseen causes? Things that haven't happened yet. They only happened in your mind. Okay? When you bring these unseen causes into harmony with your conception, with your thought, you're bringing this unseen, this dream world in order. You're making order out of the dream world. You can make working realities. Practical working realities because there's more than one reality that at present seem but a fantastic dream. So imagine me telling you that every month I could buy a Rolls Royce for the rest of my life. Would you believe me? A $500,000 Rolls Royce. Would you believe me? So think about that, guys. Think about the power of your mind, of your thought. Think about how powerful this information is that this man right here didn't even know about no cryptocurrency. He didn't know about the transfer of wealth that's taking place right now, literally. And that it all happens in here. A fantastic dream is basically to be able to bless people in your family, to be able to help other people. And and like I said, I'm grateful. I'm here. I'm a friend, and I want to see you guys do good because you shouldn't you shouldn't hate on other people. You shouldn't, you know, down the next person. Like I could tell you I made 120 million, but I haven't changed. You know, I still have somewhat of a broke mentality, a poverty conscience because, you know, I didn't come from wealth, you know. I didn't come from a rich family, right? But but you can do it, and it doesn't make anyone better than anyone else just because you know you have the ability to travel the world and to do all this stuff. The reality is that it's just it's just a game. It's there's levels, you know. You make 100 million, shit, people are making 100 million a year or every quarter, depending on who you are. But like I said, if it goes down, it comes back up again. So that's how the game is played. That's what happens. But it happens at the end. You have to act as if you already made it. You have to act as if the skill that you have, like the skill that I had modifying people's homes, is that I already have 20,000 clients. And I think our company got to like 2,000 clients, maybe 2,500 clients, because we were in business like 3 or 4 years. But what I'm trying to say is that you can do it regardless. You have a skill. I don't know what skill you have, but you have something. Is everyone's different. Everyone has some ability, but the TV society has says no. You know, you're a minority. You don't have no skills. You're a moron. Like Thomas Edison, they told him he was stupid, and no one knows about this. Not a lot of people know about this, but Thomas Edison, the creator of the light bulb, was actually kicked out of school. Thomas Edison, the guy that created the light bulb, was kicked out of school for being too dumb. His mother lied to him and said, "Oh, you're too intelligent. That I need to, you need to stay here because you're too smart to go to school with the other kids. So I'm gonna show you everything that you need to know at home." Because he was supposedly he was too smart, but the reality he was too stupid. But his mom lied to him. So what happened? Thomas Edison grew up. He thought he was a genius, and he changed the world. Everyone has a light bulb now. Like you go out there in the street, there's light bulbs all over the place. perception. Change the way you think, and everything will change. So, hope you guys liked the video. If you don't got the book, buy it. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.